Let's play a standard game of Out of the Park Baseball 26, with some changes. Welcome to the Baseball Dreamland channel. A few weeks ago, I gave all my viewers the power to change one thing about the world of baseball. In this video, we're going to see what they've done with the place and check out the 2025 season. It started as a relatively quiet offseason in Major League Baseball. Juan Soto signed with the Mets, the Yankees lost their minds, they even allowed their players to grow beards. The Athletics officially moved to Sacramento but refused to put it in their name. And then as opening day approached, my viewers turned everything on its head. Just when you thought the Athletics were settled in Sacramento, they decided to pack their bags and head back home to Philadelphia. They'll play their games an hour away at Coca-Cola Park in Allentown, Pennsylvania, home of the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. Philadelphia will move to the AL East, bumping the Blue Jays to the Central and the Kansas City Royals to the West. Major League Baseball controversially adopted two franchises from international leagues. The Kiwoom Heroes will be joining the NL West from the KBO, while Curaçao Neptunus joined the NL East from the Netherlands. Didn't even ask for permission. This leaves the Korean League with 9 teams and the Dutch League with just 7 teams. Here are their current rosters. There's no way they can stand up to the talent level of MLB over a 162-game season. As it stands, they seem like locks to break the record for losses in a single season. But there's 3 weeks before the season starts, maybe something else supernatural will happen. And then Major League Baseball's general managers agreed to 16 simultaneous trades to exchange their best player and pitcher with another franchise. It's the largest roster shakeup in baseball history. Shohei Ohtani is now a St. Louis Cardinal just 1 season after signing the largest contract in baseball history. He was not expecting that. Aaron Judge is headed to the Philadelphia Athletics, and many more of baseball's biggest names have all switched teams in an instant. Not long after, Rob Manfred announced 2 expansion franchises effective for the 2025 season that begins in just 7 days. Not Nashville and not Salt Lake City like many expected, but Honolulu and Anchorage. The only problem is Honolulu Stadium holds 4,000 fans, and Anchorage's stadium holds 2,000. And why Anchorage? Because nothing says baseball like negative 30 degrees and polar bears. And the Colorado Rockies get to move to the NL Central as part of this. The expansion draft took place the following day. In their haste, the Cardinals and Athletics forgot to protect one of their prized acquisitions and lost them to the expansion clubs. The expansion rosters look like this following the draft. The Hawaii Islanders drafted Shohei with the first pick and acquired Jared Triolo from the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Anchorage Bucks selected Aaron Judge with the second pick and later selected Tanner Scott from the Los Angeles Dodgers. After the expansion draft, the Chicago White Sox announced a press conference to introduce a new player, which was an odd move for a rebuilding team, especially when all the big names have already signed. And then the press's collective jaws dropped to the floor when the player who entered the room was Babe Ruth? The White Sox claim he's Babe Ruth. This has to be a publicity stunt. He's signing the contract with his right hand and wearing the number 22 jersey? Oh yeah, and he's been dead for 76 years. So whoever he is, he just signed a 4-year contract for $141 million. The first ever baseball player from Vatican City has entered Major League Baseball through international free agency. Paolo Santini signed with the Seattle Mariners for $5.2 million during spring training. The number 2 prospect in Major League Baseball will start his professional career in the Dominican Rookie League. We'll keep an eye on his journey to the big leagues. Hopefully he makes the Pope proud. Nicaragua and Colombia qualified for the 2026 World Baseball Classic by winning their respective groups. Spain and Brazil then qualified by winning their 1-game playoffs. Stunning news out of Denver, where the Colorado Rockies have decided to move their center field fence to 600 feet from home plate. They've also made all the outfield walls 40 feet tall. Looks like there won't be quite as many home runs hit there. Speculation is rampant about an invisible hand or hands guiding the insane events leading up to opening day. What else could possibly go wrong? Actually, don't answer that. The Athletics return to Philadelphia in style. Esteury Ruiz hits a fifth-inning RBI triple, helping his team to an opening day victory over the New York Yankees. Welcome to Anchorage. The expansion Bucks win their first MLB game against the Kansas City Royals, in part thanks to a Josh Palacios RBI single in the fifth inning. Honolulu has the winning run on third in extras against the Giants. The ump calls balk, and the Islanders win their first ever game. He'll never pay for a beer on Waikiki Beach again. Keibert Ruiz would spoil opening day in Rotterdam with this two-run single for the Nationals in the 10th inning. Washington wins 7-6. Kium has Francisco Lindor on third in the bottom of the ninth, but Jose Alvarado strikes out Miguel Andujar and Philadelphia wins 3-2. We've reached Memorial Day, and the Colorado Rockies have come out of the gates hot to claim the best record in baseball. The Tampa Bay Rays and Baltimore Orioles are tied for the best record in the American League. Curacao, Anchorage, and Honolulu all posted respectable records, while the Detroit Tigers have the worst record in MLB at 17-33. Fernando Tatis Jr. of the Baltimore Orioles leads Major League Baseball with 2.7 wins above replacement. He has 10 triples and 13 stolen bases to go with just 3 home runs. That's weird. The one who claims to be Babe Ruth leads Major League Baseball with 10 home runs, putting him on pace for just 32. He's got 6 triples and he's hitting just 174. Aaron Judge is second with 7 home runs while he's hitting just 195. What's going on here? Jacob deGrom of the Chicago White Sox leads all Major League Baseball pitchers with 2 wins above replacement. He's yet to surrender a home run in 64 innings pitched, and he needs to take it easy on the wild pitches. He's uncorked 17 of them, along with 8 balks. Jack Flaherty of the Detroit Tigers isn't having such a great time. He's 0-9 with a 6.18 ERA despite a reasonable 4.28 FIP. Maybe part of the problem is the fact that he leads the league with 43 wild pitches and has committed 10 balks as well. Alright, time to level with ya. The Gods have been playing with the stats modifiers. They flipped the triple and home run frequencies and halved the frequency of ground ball double plays. Tons of base runners are advancing due to souped up wild pitch and balk frequencies. All of this is netting out to a league average of 4.8 runs per game and a 4.45 ERA. The runs are still flowing, they just get scored differently these days. Skipping ahead to the All-Star break, and the Los Angeles Dodgers have taken over the best record in Major League Baseball. LA is running away with the NL West despite losing Ohtani and Yamamoto leading up to opening day. The Cincinnati Reds caught the Colorado Rockies in the NL Central. Meanwhile, the Texas Rangers and Tampa Bay Rays are vying for the best record in the American League. On the other side of the ledger, looks like luck has run out on the Curacao Neptunes, who have slipped to 27 games below 500 and now have the worst record in Major League Baseball. Marcus Semien now leads the league with 4.2 wins above replacement, a .301 batting average, and a .393 WOBA, and he's 4th in triples with 21. Zach Eflin is having a great season in Baltimore. He's 6th with 2.2 wins above replacement for pitchers, but the interesting stat here is 11-1. That's his strikeout to walk ratio, 91 strikeouts to 8 walks. Phil Hughes has the all-time record with 11.6 in 2014. Yoshi Yamamoto might be the most cursed pitcher in baseball. He has a 2.91 ERA and 0.82 WHIP for the Cardinals, and yet horrible run support saddles him with a 2-11 record. Bet he wishes he was back in LA. It's been a bit wild though, with 49 wild pitches. The All-Star rosters have been announced, and the Baltimore Orioles lead the way with 5 representatives. Babe Ruth and his league-leading 25 homers are there, of course. Yamamoto made the NL roster as well, despite that 2-11 record. And the Phillies lead the senior circuit with 4 representatives. Let's enjoy some All-Star festivities. Paulo Santini steps up to the plate in the Future Stars game and strikes out swinging. Better luck next time, altar boy. The American League would rally that inning for 3 runs and take the game 5-4. Bryce Eldridge of the Sacramento River Cats takes the MVP award. Despite the rough appearance in the Futures game, Paulo Santini is having a good showing in his first year of pro ball. The MLB #1 prospect was promoted to the High A Northwest League, where he won Batter of the Month in June. Now he's been promoted again, posting a 114 WRC Plus at AA Arkansas as a 17-year-old. Will we see him in Seattle this year? The Home Run Derby was unable to be completed due to rain or something. The Babe Ruth versus Aaron Judge final would have been a blast to watch. The NL led the All-Star game in the 9th until Kyle Teel singled home the tying run off of Yohan Duran. Then he became the winning run on Michael Harris's single. The American League wins in dramatic comeback fashion, and White Sox rookie Kyle Teel is the All-Star Game MVP. Major League Baseball was trade happy at the deadline, completing 50 deals. Some good players dealt, but no great ones. Skipping ahead to Labor Day, your 6 division leaders are the Baltimore Orioles, Cleveland Guardians, Texas Rangers, Atlanta Braves, Cincinnati Reds, and Los Angeles Dodgers. But as the Z next to all the American League teams suggests, division leaders don't matter much. The AL is using a stepladder postseason format where every team qualifies. If the season ended today, the number 16 Bucks would travel to the number 15 seeded Seattle Mariners for a 1-game playoff. The winner will travel to the number 14 seeded Detroit Tigers, then the winner to the 13 seeded Chicago White Sox, and so on all the way to the American League Championship Series, which will be a best of 7. The Baltimore Orioles and Texas Rangers are in a close race to clinch that ALCS berth. By winning the AL Central, the Cleveland Guardians would be the number 3 seed. The National League decided to eliminate its postseason and send the best regular season record directly to the World Series. My apologies to the Colorado Rockies, Chicago Cubs, and Atlanta Braves, who thought they were contending for a postseason spot, but you're all but eliminated already. And the Dodgers maybe thought they'd have a bye to the division series? Sorry about that. You have 1 month to catch the Cincinnati Reds. James Outman and Roki Sasaki have been compensating for the preseason losses of Shohei Ohtani and Yoshi Yamamoto. Outman leads the position players with 9 home runs and 3.7 wins above replacement. He's a big reason why the Dodgers lead the NL with a .310 on-base percentage. Sasaki is 11-7 with a 3.17 ERA and 3.2 wins above replacement. The Cincinnati Reds have made a shocking ascent to the top of the National League despite losing closer Josh Hader for the season. Their middle infield duo of Matt McClain and Edwin Arroyo have combined for 6 wins above replacement, while off-season acquisition Brady Singer has 3.15 ERA and nearly 4 wins above replacement. Congratulations to Ezekiel Tovar on breaking Owen Wilson's Major League record for triples in a season with 43.
Wow.
He's been using that enormous Coors Field to his advantage and still has 26 games remaining to get some more. Tovar has also taken the MLB lead with 6.1 wins above replacement, leading in hits, batting average, doubles, slugging percentage, total bases, and WOBA. The international 2025 regular seasons have concluded. Off to their postseasons now. Ben Bramer is looking to seal the British League Championship for the Essex Arrows. He gets Kevin Santa to ground out to first, and it's done. Nelmirson Angela gets Rafael Smink to fly out, giving Busham a 4-game sweep against the Amsterdam Pirates for the Honkball Hoofdklasse title. Young Chan Yu strikes out Jehu Choi to make the LG Twins the KBO champions of 2025. The U.S. independent leagues have also wrapped. Congratulations to the High Point Rockers, Milwaukee Milkmen, Glacier Range Riders, and Lake Erie Crushers on winning their league championships. Now back to MLB's September races. The Baltimore Orioles clinch a place in the American League Championship Series by walking off the Philadelphia Athletics on what else? A wild pitch. The National League comes down to the last day. The Cincinnati Reds are a game up on the Los Angeles Dodgers. If they win in Milwaukee, they go to the World Series. If they lose, then the Dodgers can advance to the World Series with a win against Shohei Ohtani and the Islanders in Honolulu. Owen Miller drills a triple into the right field gap, which puts the Milwaukee Brewers up 5-2, and they spoil the Reds' celebration for now. Shohei Ohtani, who stands between LA and the World Series, sends a deep fly to center. Caught. Andy Pages crushes a triple into the left field gap, which clears the bases. The Dodgers crushed the Islanders 12-6 and advanced to the World Series. That concludes the 2025 regular season. The Reds miss out on the postseason despite winning 100 games, as do the late-surging Chicago Cubs with a 98-win season. Over in the American League, the Baltimore Orioles will sit back and enjoy the most insane postseason format ever witnessed in baseball as it unfolds. The remaining AL teams are all lined up in that stepladder. Curacao Neptunus finishes with the worst record in baseball with 104 losses, but it could have been worse. Exactly one player from their initial roster survived the season. Kudos to Bob Vandermeer. Josh Fleming was their only qualifying pitcher with an ERA below 6. At least they can say they have a building block in 23-year-old first baseman James Wood. The Kium Heroes nearly matched them after losing their last 11 games of the season to finish with 102 losses. The former KBO outfit kept 4 of their original members through to the end. One of the 4, Youngmin Ha, finished second on the team with 8 wins, though that came with an 8.37 ERA. Francisco Lindor carried this team with 6.5 wins above replacement in his age 31 season. The Honolulu Islanders enjoyed a bit more success thanks to being seeded with Shohei Ohtani, but Ohtani dealt with 5 different injuries and played only 99 games, still amassing 5.1 wins above replacement. Jared Triolo also emerged as an asset for this club at third base. The Anchorage Bucks have expansion team bragging rights from making the postseason. Aaron Judge contributed 3.9 WAR and finished second in baseball with 19 home runs. Joe Miranda was the only regular player on this squad to post a batting average above 200. The Colorado Rockies had a bit of a home run outage after their crazy fence shenanigans. They hit 5 home runs at home all season, and if you listen closely, you can hear Coors Field whispering, "What have you done to me?" Despite this, the Rockies still led the NL in runs scored and improved from 61 wins to 93 wins. Of course, acquiring Paul Skeens from the Pittsburgh Pirates during spring training may have had something to do with it as well. The Baltimore Orioles led the American League in runs scored thanks to an American League record 221 triples and only grounding into 31 double plays all season. The Texas Rangers surrendered the fewest runs with 637 by only uncorking 560 wild pitches and 209 balks on the season. Having the best defensive range also helped just a bit. The Colorado Rockies led the National League in runs scored thanks to a Major League record 228 triples.
Wow.
The Philadelphia Phillies surrendered the fewest runs with 696 with help from the lowest walk rate and fewest wild pitches in the league. Paolo Santini remained in Double-A through the season, hitting 17 homers and posting a 140 WRC plus there. The number 1 MLB prospect seems like a 2026 call-up candidate to me. Babe Ruth had a late-season surge that propelled him to an MLB best 7.2 wins above replacement. His 44 home runs were more than double Aaron Judge's second best with 19. He also set the MLB single-season record with 231 strikeouts. Ezekiel Tovar extended his single-season triples record, finishing with 49.
Wow.
Jacob deGrom finished with 5 wins above replacement to lead all MLB pitchers. No records were broken on this list, but since you're dying to know, Lucas Giolito of the Boston Red Sox led MLB with 116 wild pitches on the season. Somewhere a catching instructor is weeping. Corbin Burns of the Arizona Diamondbacks balked a league-high 69 times. Shout out to Babe Ruth on posting the second best game performance by a hitter. In addition to these, Nathaniel Lowe, Ronald Acuna Jr., and Zach Neto all hit for cycles. Unfortunately for Nick Martinez, he did not pitch a perfect game because a runner reached base on an error. Davidas Neverauskas also pitched a no-hitter that didn't make the top 5. Kudos to Clayton Kershaw on his 3,000th career strikeout and Babe Ruth on his 400th career home run. Gonna need a ruling on that one. Let me know in the comments whether he should start his second life at 714, wherever he was in 1926, 0, other. Over in Korea, shout out to Jung Choi on his 500th career home run. We're ready for the American League postseason ladder, which will start with Aaron Judge and his 16-seeded Anchorage Bucks traveling to his former club, the 15-seeded New York Yankees. Just like everyone predicted, Aaron Judge has been waiting all season for this moment. Traded away, cast aside, left to rot in Alaska. But he's back, and he sends a deep fly to left field, and it's gone! Aaron Judge leads the Bucks to a 9-7 revenge victory, and they'll head to Philadelphia.
All rise.
Judge is up again in the first, and again he smashes one to left. It's off the wall, and the Bucks crush the Athletics 10-3. Off to Minnesota now. Ramon Arias is up with the tying run on second. It's a base hit, and the tying run comes in to score, but he's out. The Twins escape and will head to Detroit. It's a similar situation there. Willie Castro sends a liner into the gap, but it's caught by Parker Meadows, who sends the Tigers to face Seattle. Tigers lead 2-1 in the 8th, but Cal Raleigh smashes a 2 RBI triple off the wall, sending the Mariners to victory and on to Houston. It's extra innings there, and Victor Robles knocks it into the left field corner. The Mariners take the lead and will hold on to win and face the Boston Red Sox. Roman Anthony is looking to tie it in the bottom of the 9th. Gregory Santos coaxes a ground out, and the Mariners win again, off to Chicago. Cal Raleigh laces one to left field, and that's a home run. Babe Ruth has been vanquished. Someone check the space-time continuum. 4 victories in a row for Drew Rasmussen, and the Seattle Mariners makes them the Cinderella story of the postseason so far. Now all they have to do is beat the Blue Jays, Angels, Royals, Rays, Guardians, and Rangers on the road to reach the American League Championship Series. No pressure. Bottom of the 10th, and Dante Bichette sends one down the left field line. Ernie Clements scores all the way from first, and the Blue Jays will head to Los Angeles. Miles Straw singles to right in the 10th to score George Springer, giving the Blue Jays another win and a ticket to the next round in Kansas City. Dalton Varsho's 9th inning home run gives the Blue Jays a 3-run lead over the Royals and their 3rd straight victory. On to Tampa Bay. Junior Caminero's RBI triple in the 7th would end the Blue Jays streak. The Rays win 5-1 and will head to the AL Central champion Cleveland Guardians. Those Guardians are trying to drive in an insurance run in the 8th. They won't have to, because it's a balk. On to Texas to determine who will go to the ALCS. Tie game in the 6th, and Cole Reagans yeets one to the backstop to score Marcus Semien. That would be the winning run, and Texas advances to the ALCS. Kudos to the Toronto Blue Jays for pulling off 3 straight wins, but ultimately it's the Texas Rangers who prevail in the American League postseason ladder. Now it's a 7-game series between the Texas Rangers and Baltimore Orioles to advance to the World Series. The Rangers are led by 33-year-old first baseman Jock Peterson and 23-year-old outfielder Wyatt Langford. 21-year-old second baseman Jackson Holliday leads the Baltimore Orioles, along with 26-year-old outfielders Heston Kjerstad and Fernando Tatis Jr. The Rangers won 96 games in the AL West title thanks to elite pitching and defense. Leody Taveras led the position players with 4.1 wins above replacement, while Kamar Rocker paced the pitching staff with 3.4 WAR. Jake Berger led the subpar offense with 11 home runs and 72 driven in, but he will miss the ALCS due to a concussion. The Orioles won 100 games on the backs of their ruthless run-scoring attack, led by Jackson Holliday's 5.9 wins above replacement and Gunnar Henderson's 5.4 wins above replacement. Zach Eflin led a poor pitching staff with 3.6 WAR, and they did enough to hold the giant leads the offense gave them. In other words, they're the exact opposite of the Rangers. The Rangers have used 2 wins from Dustin May to build a 3-2 lead over the Orioles as the series shifts back to Baltimore. Josh Smith hits a triple to right in the 5th inning, which scored Leody Taveras and put Texas up 6-2. Chris Martin got Jordan Westburg to ground out to first base, and the Rangers are headed to the World Series. Congratulations to Leody Taveras on winning the ALCS MVP award. He went 10 for 24 with 3 extra base hits, 2 walks, and a stolen base. They will face the Los Angeles Dodgers, who snuck into the World Series on the last day of the season, which was 6 weeks ago. LA won 100 games and featured starting pitcher Roki Sasaki, relievers Evan Phillips and Ryan Helsley, first baseman Freddie Freeman, third baseman Brendan Donovan, and right fielder Mookie Betts. Home field advantage held through the first 4 games, but the LA Dodgers broke through for an extra innings victory on the road in Game 5. Now the scene shifts back to Dodger Stadium for Game 6. Adolis Garcia extended the Rangers' slim lead by driving in 2 with this single through the infield in the 7th. The Rangers win 5-1, and we're going to Game 7. Teoscar Hernandez opened the scoring with a solo home run in the 2nd inning. The Dodgers flooded the base paths and took advantage of 9 wild pitches, seriously 9, by the Rangers. Roki Sasaki came on in the 9th inning and struck out Josh Smith to earn the Dodgers their 9th World Series championship. Congratulations again to the entire Dodgers organization on winning back-to-back World Series championships for the first time in their history. Congratulations to Ryan Helsley on winning the World Series MVP award. He pitched 6 scoreless innings and only allowed 1 base runner while striking out 3, earning a win and 2 saves in the process. Time for some awards. Christian Walker, Andres Jimenez, and Stephen Kwan all won their 4th career Gold Gloves. Bobby Witt is the only American leaguer to win his 2nd Silver Slugger this season. Everyone else is a one-time awardee, including Babe Ruth. But he's the unanimous selection for American League MVP. Meanwhile, his White Sox teammate Jacob deGrom wins the AL Cy Young Award for the 3rd time and the first time since 2019. His vote was also unanimous. Manuel Clase wins the AL Fireman of the Year for the 3rd time and 2nd season in a row. Twin second baseman Luke Keeschall is the American League Rookie of the Year. National League side, Francisco Lindor and Brenton Doyle are now 3-time winners of the Gold Glove Award. Bryce Harper won his 5th career Silver Slugger Award, while Ronald Acuna and Shohei Ohtani won their 4th each. Rockies shortstop and triples king Ezequiel Tovar is the National League MVP.
Wow.
Cincinnati Reds starter Brady Singer won the NL Cy Young Award. Roki Sasaki of the LA Dodgers is the NL Rookie of the Year, and Ryan Brazier is the NL Fireman of the Year. All are first-time winners. So there you have it, a season full of triples, balks, wild pitches, and absolute madness. Will next year be more normal? Not if you have anything to say about it. All viewers now have another opportunity to issue one command that shapes this baseball world in 2026. All you must do is put that command in the video's comments by April 30th. Look for the 2026 season recap video to come out around the middle of May. If you aren't sure what you want to change and want some tips or ideas, there's a link to an introductory video for you in the description. Meanwhile, a huge thank you to those who supplied changes for the first season. It was hilarious seeing them all come in and watching how they all affected the save. That's a wrap. Don't forget to put a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to be notified when the 2026 season releases. And if you can't wait that long and want to watch more of my videos now, check this one out.